already filmed a video today, but I wanted to film another one talking about inner work and pretty much my process for inner work so that if anybody ever wants to go back to this, when I talk about inner work with any of my other videos, you'll know the process that I use. So the process that I use when I do any inner work, which is like kind of like shadow work, some other people call it. I got this method from the Universe Guru, also known as Mina Irfan here on YouTube. So basically, what you want to do is if something's bothering you or like you're feeling a negative thought about something and it's like making you anxious, it's just making you feel bad because I pay a lot of attention to how I feel. If I don't feel good, then I know something's wrong. And that's taking a lot of time to get to that point. But I started watching Abraham Hicks a couple years ago, probably like a year and a half ago. And she talked about how important it is to care about how you feel because a lot of us can be very sloppy with our thinking and with our emotions. And when you allow yourself to get worked up over really stupid things, you don't know what's really bothering you. You don't know if something's really bothering you. You can't figure out what's really bothering you because you're just like so easily triggered and you're just like, oh, my pen isn't in my bag. Ugh, God hates me. Like life is so annoying. Like, and you just start spiraling. So that was the first thing. I had to get really good at paying attention to how I feel and caring about how I feel and always trying to choose a better feeling thought. And when it's not easy to get to a better feeling thought, then I know that there is some inner work to do, or when I'm scared to do something. So yeah, I guess let's talk about when I do my inner work. Either I'm feeling scared to do something, or I'm feeling just bad about a situation, or I feel like I'm hitting a roadblock. I feel like I'm hitting some type of block in doing something. And then that's when I do this inner work routine to clean up my thoughts and shift the story. So this is my inner work journal, and I filled up quite a bit. Wait, I don't want to get too close. But yeah, I filled up quite a bit with my inner work exercises. And basically the routine is the first thing I do is write whatever it is that I've been feeling, or the story that's in my head. So let's basically walk through an example of how I would do this inner work routine based off of the self-worth video that I did. So I woke up just feeling really bad and I had just a funk and I was like, what is the problem? And I started journaling. So sometimes you know, and sometimes you don't even know like why you're in a funk. So what I wrote was like that the distortion was that I wasn't moving and I was stuck in the loop. And I was saying that I was feeling like I wasn't creative right now. And I was saying that I just felt like I was constantly improving every day, trying to be the best version of me, but I still didn't have what I want and I wasn't enough. And that's when I was like, oh, girl. And so I literally wrote for like probably 3 pages. Basically, it was a channeled message, so I can do like scripting. So after I write down what my initial thoughts are just on everything, I just let it all out. I then pray and ask God to change my heart and allow me to see things in a different way. Once I say that prayer, I then will either do research on that topic, like if I know. So like after doing all that journaling and thinking about, feeling like I was trying to self-improve myself to self-worth, I was looking on YouTube for some self-worth videos, and that helped me gain even more insight and was starting to help shift my perspective. Sometimes I don't need a video. Like sometimes I just need to just think about like what I'm saying and what doesn't feel good about what I'm saying and what's a limiting belief. And if you don't know what a limiting belief is an idea that you have that's holding you back from whatever it is that you want. That's not a universal truth. So if you say, there's no way that I could get a Porsche, that's a limiting belief because there is a way. Like it's not impossible. It's not a universal law that you may not have a Porsche. That's a limiting belief. That was a very general one, but just to get an idea. So after I do the research, I then come back to my journal to write down the new story. And for me, the new story was, I am inherently worthy. I don't have to self-improve my way to worthiness. I am good enough as I am, and things along those lines. And once I wrote out that new story, I then sit with that new story. I like to meditate on it for a few minutes at least and just kind of see what that feels like and allow those new beliefs to just, sit with me, stay in them. And once I've done that, I then will say a few affirmations, just repeat them a few times like, I am worthy, I am enough, I don't need to change anything, stuff like that. And I just repeat that. I'm gonna do another example for how to work through a limiting belief. And this one was one that I had around coaching. And this was literally last February. And I said, I felt like coaching was very salesy and sleazy. And I wasn't worthy enough for coaching. Oh, look at that worthiness issue coming up. And that even as I was writing this, and this is sometimes what will happen when you're writing this, what you currently believe, you'll realize how crazy it is. I said that brand deals are less sleazy than pushing and selling your own products. That's crazy. And I knew that was crazy as I wrote that. Because how can it be sleazier and more salesy to sell your own personal product that was made with good intention, your service though has good intention, than to be selling somebody else's? I needed a shift, clearly, right? So then I said my prayer, asked God to change my thoughts, and I wrote a new story. And I said, coaching is empowering. I am worthy to coach others. I said, this is rewarding. This is a rewarding way to make money. Compared to brand deals, coaching is more impactful for my clients and my audience. And I am just as valid and respectable as an influencer by coaching. I wrote what I felt guilty for and when I felt shame. So I said, creating content to sell something of mine, I felt guilty and shame when I would do that. When I had to pitch my services, I felt guilty and shame. So I knew that was what needed to change. And then I wrote down my affirmations for that. And I said, creating content to sell my products and services helps the universe bring my ideal clients to me. Pitching my services gives clarity to my clients. I don't have to sell. My ideal clients are ready to buy. And that was how I did the inner work and transmuted these limiting beliefs I had around coaching. And now I coach clients. So that was just one other example. But yeah, that is my process for inner work. So I hope this helps anybody that wants to figure out a routine to do their inner work. I think once you start doing this, if you truly believe, like, your reality, your mind will literally shift as you're doing this. And the next day or so, you'll be like, oh my God, like, who was that girl 2 days ago? You'll be literally shook. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.